It's a great day, my amazing CEOs. Remember when Nintendo was at risk of going out of business? I mean, think about it. In the gaming industry, it reached a point where there was a really serious crisis because, well, there's two things. There was market saturation, and then, well, there was the computer entry. Remember back in 1983? Now, some of you, I know you weren't born in 1983. Like, Shay, I'm not even sure what you're talking about. But here's what's really interesting. Nintendo's success wasn't guaranteed. They didn't go out of business. They stayed in business, and the gaming industry really evolved. And as it was evolving, think about as a CEO in your market, in your industry, where there's a change, there's a shift, things evolve. Well, let me slow down for a minute. The video market crashed in 1983. And it crashed primarily because it was the entry point of the home computers. And one of the things Nintendo didn't do, like a number of folks, it didn't follow the crowd. What it did is it focused and said, what is the greatest need in the market? And at the time, it was having hardware. So you'd have a game that was a hard thing to hold. And they said, you know what? We're going to focus on providing really cool software. And as a result of innovation, and the result of listening to their clients, they were able to make the changes that were necessary. And today, Nintendo is really the juggernaut that we know and that we've come to adore because of its creativity. So what's my big takeaway for you as a CEO? My big takeaway is two things. Number one, have a sales strategy that is open to innovation and creativity, because as the market shifts, as your customer needs shift, then your sales message, your sales strategy, and of course your sales systems will shift with it as well. You do that and you will see your sales go up, 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 and away. With that being said, welcome to the CEO Sales Huddle. My name is Shay Brown. It is an honor and a privilege to serve you. Every morning we get started, we like to start off with our favorite mantra. And our mantra is, if you can't focus on sales, you can't be in what? Business. Why? Now I want you to repeat after me. Repeat after me right now. If you can't focus on sales, you can't be in business. The answer is why? Because sales is the oxygen for every great business in history. And without sales, there will be always more money going out than there is coming in. So the point is, sales is really serious business. Now, as a CEO, we start off every morning with our pledge. So after our mantra, we get our pledge, and our pledge is learn, earn, and return. And here's what I want you to repeat after me, because it's so important. This is the pledge we make to our sales department, is I have to learn something new in order to earn new revenue from existing clients in order to get old and new clients to return. So I must learn, earn, and return. And our number one objective when we show up every single time is all about sales progress. It's about addressing roadblocks, so we know the world ain't perfect. But more importantly, it's about understanding the 5 sales pillars that every CEO must know and understand in order to be successful. Let's go through those real quick. I do them every single morning, but I like to slow down and make sure you get them. Number one, a CEO sales plan. Not just any plan, but a one-page CEO sales plan. Number two, a sales message. So you must have a message that you're communicating out to the market. Number three is the sales cycle. I think I did it backwards. The sales cycle. And that is from the time you meet the prospect to the time they're interested, to the time they say, yes, I'm all in. And then the sales dashboard. Those are the indicators we're going to measure. What gets measured gets managed. What gets managed gets better. As I go through the 5 sales pillars, I also want to make sure you get the last one. And the last one is you must have a super sexy sales team. So you must have a sales team. Somebody's got to go out there and generate the revenue on a continuous basis. Now, for those folks that are tuning in, and every morning we love to say hello. It's my favorite part, by the way, because you can see me, but I can't see you. And I read every comment. I respond to every DM. Do me a favor. As a CEO, look right below the video and put hashtag I'm here. Hashtag I'm here. Do a check-in. Let me know you're in the building, that you showed up. And if you're watching the replay, put a hashtag replay. Hashtag replay. Maybe you can't be here at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time every day, but you're watching. Maybe you're listening to the download round. You're on the podcast. Maybe you're on Roku, Apple TV, Amazon, wherever you're watching. Maybe we're streaming on one of our syndicated platforms. Do me a favor. Go over to @IamCheBrown. Drop me a DM. Let me know that you're in the building. I certainly would appreciate that, by the way. And then once you let me know that you're in the building, at that point, I will respond. So I respond to every comment that is made. I make sure I respond to every comment. So the next section that we're going to do, which is one of my favorite as well, is a section that, well, Let me make sure I get that right. Let me go here, here, here. Okay, here we go. Is why do we get together? CEOs gather. It's a place where we gather to understand how to sell more faster. So you're going to sell as a CEO, I get it, but you want to sell more faster. What's the big why? Why do you show up? Why be here? Well, it's all about three things. Sales growth makes sense. Sales accountability makes sense. And being consistent. And you may have heard this before. No matter how often you hear it, it's so true. Consistency is the key. Consistency is the key. Consistency is the key. And having said that, what do most people struggle with most? They struggle with consistency. I'm only asking for 15 minutes a day. So that's pretty cool. Not asking for your whole morning, not your whole day. There are 1,440 minutes in every day. We ask for 1% of your day to focus on the one department that generates revenue in your business. And what's our number one outcome? Why do I show up? Hopefully why you show up as well. It's to generate $100,000 plus a month of consistent, predictable, reliable revenue. And as we do that, we move over to another segment we have called the CEO Sales Dashboard. Now, the CEO Sales Dashboard was created because CEOs said, hey, where do I tune in every morning? Where do I go where I can be in a conversation? And what are the, well, not the metrics, but what should I really be following every single morning? And I said, well, the first thing you need to follow is you need to understand the key metrics. And so if you haven't downloaded the CEO Sales Dashboard, you can go over to www.ceosaleshuddle.com. Again, www.ceosaleshuddle.com. Once you get there, you can download it. There's no charge. There's no fee. There's nothing required. But we subscribe to the school of thought of what gets measured gets managed. What gets managed gets better. So open up the CEO Sales Dashboard. You'll see this. But also, for those folks that have already downloaded, I'm going to open it up here. It's an Excel sheet. Oh my gosh. And it's so easy. Doesn't it make your life easy? And you can go across the top and you can see dates going across the top, leads, appointments, offers, deals. Go to today's date, come all the way down. Yeah, put in how many leads came in the department yesterday. How many appointments were set yesterday? How many appointments were run yesterday? How many offers were made? You want to notice, look at yesterday, the last 7 days, the last 30 days, the last 60 days, the last 90 days. Okay. Let's just focus on today and let me not get too carried away. But truthfully, this is the number one tool that you need to get to $100,000 a month. What gets measured, you would agree with me, it gets managed. And what gets managed, well, you probably agree it gets better because you can allow you to put the resources. Today, we're going to focus on one area. Let's give them one area that I want to focus on, and that is deals. And so I want you to put down how many deals closed yesterday. They said yes. They wired the money. They did the ACH payment. They signed the agreement. It's a done deal. Yes, go ahead and take a standing ovation. There's nothing wrong with that. And also go to the other side and say, well, what are pending? And I used to just think if I didn't get a deal, I didn't look at pending. But you look at pending in three areas. There's hot. Those are deals going to take place in the next 0 to 10 days. There's medium, and that means probably 10 to 20 days. So 1 to 10 days, typically they got to look at the agreement. Maybe they got to run it by someone. Maybe they got to go punch in their ACH number or the wire information. 10 to 20, depending on the industry, means they got to have a follow up. There might even be another conversation, but they're there. They're there. And then anything over 30 days, I call it cold. And not because it's a bad thing. Anything over 20 days, because you've got to kind of build trusted rapport. Got to remind them of the sense of urgency, and it's a little more work that's involved. So what gets measured gets managed. What gets managed gets better. Don't you love it? And now, as you pull that up, hope we have it open right now. Go plug in the numbers now. Seriously, I'm gonna go open it up. Go plug in the numbers now. If you haven't downloaded it, go download now. Go to ceosaleshuddle.com. Follow the instructions. Download the dashboard. Get your assistant to fill it out if that's important to you. You can get you can fill out yourself during the time that you and I are here. Good use of 15 minutes of your time every day. You could even have someone else on your team be responsible for it. But here's my promise to you. Once you've downloaded, send me a note and say, Shay, I'm all in. Shay, I'm all in. I'm not dibbling. I'm not dabbling. I'm not starting. I'm not stopping. I'm not thinking about it. I'm not on track, off track. I'm all in. And once you're all in, then I know this will be the biggest breakthrough for you. The CEO Sales Dashboard has probably changed more of our clients' lives. So just go over to www.ceosaleshuddle.com and you can download it right there. Enjoy it. I can't wait to get your message. It'll change your business. At the end of the day, your business will change your life. Now we're going to move to another segment. The next segment is called Celebrate Wins. So yeah, we like to look at what's working. We like to acknowledge the wins that we have, the successes that we have. It's not all beat me up. It's not all doom and gloom. So do me a favor, as you look over there, I don't know what I just did. As you look over there, 3 questions. Powerful people ask powerful questions because questions steer focus. And in this life, you get exactly what you focus on. So 3 questions. Number 1, what are you most proud of? Number 2, what was your biggest accomplishment? And number 3, what's the one thing you could brag about? If you could brag right now and throw your hands in the air and brag and say, yesterday in the sales department, I'm not talking about in your health, I'm not talking about in your finances, I'm not talking about in your relationship or your spiritual walk, just in your sales department, what do you want to brag about? Raise your hand, raise your hand. If you want to send me a note over at I am Shay Brown. Now, those that send me these notes, I respond to everyone. I love it. I think it's amazing. I think it's incredible. And it's a great way to acknowledge the hard work that you do every day and acknowledge yourself for the winner that you are, for the champion that you are. Do me a favor now, as you're watching in this present moment, let's look at any hurdles. Powerful people do ask powerful questions because questions steer focus. And in this life, you get exactly what you focus on. So let's focus on what was your biggest roadblock yesterday. What's preventing the sales department today from moving forward? And what's the one thing that you could do that if you did it, it would move the sales needle? See, there's sometimes in life we do something and it's like no big deal. It's a little step forward and that's cool. There's other times we make a decision we're going to work out every day. Let's say, for example, it moves the needle. Like your whole life changes when you take care of your health. Your whole life changes when you take care of your relationships. So I want you to think about in your business, what's the one thing that you could do that if you started it and you get it going, it could just move the entire needle. Powerful people ask powerful questions because questions steer focus. And in this life, you get exactly what you focus on. As we come down the home stretch, I want you to know that you're amazing. That's my message of the day. You're no longer dibbling. You're no longer dabbling. The word of the message of the day is all in. 2 words, all in, all in. You're all in right now. You're tuned in. You're dialed in. You're wired. You got your sights on the sales department. You got energy on the sales department. It's not something just hanging out there, sitting out there, and maybe you're doing something. No, you're actually going to have your sales system in place. You're actually going to have your sales message in place. You're actively going to have the sales funnel in place. As the leader of this, you're also prepared to provide it what it needs. It needs people, processes, and tools. So you're going to make sure it has the processes in place. The sales department would have the sales tools in place. And with the right mindset, the right tool set, then it'll be able to go off and do some amazing, amazing things. You've got what it takes. You're amazing. You're incredible. And I want you to know that I believe in you. And I believe if you're watching now as a CEO, I believe your best is still yet to come. Your best is yet to come. Your best is yet to come. They ain't seen your best days. With that being said, my name hasn't changed. It's Shay Brown, host of the CEO Sales Huddle. Make it a great day, everyone. And I promise you from the bottom of my heart, we're going to make some good things happen. We connect again next time. God bless. And I wish you all success. Peace.